Oh, man. What is going on, YouTube? Oh, I just ate. I'm stuffed. So, if you're watching this video, thank you. This is our every 1,000 subscriber live stream where we try to say thank you to. Oh, did I do it again? Oh no. I was thinking that I started the stream on private, but it's not. I did that recently. So those of you who are new, what I like to do is every time we get 1,000 new subscribers, I like to do a live stream just so that I can answer some questions, so that I could provide some value. Because a lot of times, and it's just as a way of kind of saying, hey, thank you for the support, thank you for watching, thank you for being part of the channel. So this is your opportunity. Whatever is on your mind, I try to do videos about software and everything that I can, but I don't always get the opportunity to answer every question I can, or answer every question on your mind. So for the 29,000 OGs, thank you for being here. For the new last 1,000, welcome, and you are on your path to becoming an OG. As everyone kind of funnels in here, a little bit about what I've been up to, and just feel free to ask questions for the next hour or so. But a little bit about what I've been up to other than work. I'm also doing No Shave November, which if you see, this is kind of the most I shaved recently. This is my attempt at whatever you call this beard. I call this the evil supervillain / the guy who is too serious at his job facial hair. So for the way everybody in the dev department, most of the people in the dev department who are men, which is everybody, essentially didn't shave for the month of November. And then the last week, we all come in with a different set of facial hair until on the final day, you get the mustache. Because you're ending with the mustache. I might keep the mustache just to really show off to the girlfriend that we're rocking it. But yeah, so what I've been up to on a professional level, not about on a facial hair level, is I'm currently working through the dynamic web projects on Free Code Camp in Angular, current version of Angular, and Node and Express. I also am going through the documentation, deep diving, and I'm putting up little 1 to 2 minute videos on a secondary channel. Just Dylan Israel. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I plan on deep diving more in HTML and CSS for the meantime. So Tyler Benton says, is BootStrap worth learning? Yes. I recently did a video today. It got demonetized. I'm fucking pissed about that. That's another thing going on is I am so unbelievably sick of all my shit getting demonetized by YouTube. I did a video today, and I re-listened to it twice today to see if I could figure out why it got demonetized. It's called Top Skills Needed to Get a Front-End Developer Role in 2018. Could there be a less controversial topic? I think not. So that video, it's doing okay. It's doing pretty well, actually. So it's got about 900 views right now, which is a lot for me on the first day in about 12 hours. That's a good amount for me. It's a good topic. I don't get anything from that video, from the time and energy. I can see why people leave YouTube. I really understand. The only thing I can come up with as to why I didn't cuss on it or anything. I think skills, the stupid AI thinks skills is kills. That's the only thing I can come up with as to why it might get a why it might do that. Do I have anything with message chewing like Rabbit MQ? No, I haven't even heard of that. I have to check it out though. Okay, so is BootStrap worth learning? Yes or no? Yes, it's worth using and being familiar with the column grid system. And it's worth understanding how the column grid system works. Now, do you need to understand what the classes do? No, I mean, that's just CSS stuff at the end of the day. That text.success or -success is going to set it to green. And color schemes, I would say more so you need to focus on the column grid, and you can use BootStrap to help maybe help with the CSS, because this is JavaScript stuff that's really going to get you the jobs most of the time. How does one go into JavaScript? Well, that you started 3 weeks ago. It's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to try and reprogram your brain on how you think about things. You're gonna need to say to yourself, okay, let's understand the basics first. Let's understand what an if statement does. Now, how do I use it? I think that's maybe the way to go about it. How do you use something? And a lot of times people could give me a definition, but can't actually tell you how you'd use something. How and why would you use a for loop? If I say a for loop, I'll give you an example. Someone asked me, what is a for loop? Or describe a for loop. I would say, well, a for loop is something that we iterate over a set amount of code that we want it to repeat. An example would be, we have an array of numbers, 1, 2, and 3. The first iteration would add 1 to 2. The second iteration would add 3, and then the loop would end. If we add additional values, we would, you have to understand how you're going to use these things and what they do. And it's something that a lot of times people sometimes they can't even describe it. So if I were to ask you, that's the first step. Now, second step is actually visualizing how these things are going to work. When I give you a problem, I say, hey, write me a function that adds 2 numbers together. How do you do that? Okay. Write me a function that compares 2 numbers, greater than or less than, and just trying to understand. And oftentimes write it without code first to see if you understand the concept, and then visually look at your code on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper as you're drawing it out, and pseudocode, right? Write pseudocode and see if you can actually understand what it is. Say, okay, well, there needs to be a function, so then draw a function. You say, okay, well, he said add 2 numbers. Okay, so I think I need 2 parameters, right? Because that's how you pass things into the functions. Then you say, do I need a variable? Maybe I could store it in a variable, and then you could refactor it better, right? But let's say you store it in a variable, and you say, okay, well, these 2 numbers are here. Now, how do I return these 2? Well, how do I return these? How do I return this number, right? I use the return statement. And that's a very basic example, but you really need to start breaking it down piece by piece by piece. And that's going to be the hardest part for you when you dive into JavaScript, is just sort of understanding how to take a problem, open up a text editor, and not be overwhelmed by the fact that there's nothing else there. You're going to need to take these tools, understand what the tools are, and understand how to use them. So just try and reprogram your brain a little bit on how to think logically, very logically, and step by step on how you're going to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. YouTube will just, YouTube with the demonetization, they just do whatever. Excuse me. Is C# good to learn coding? Yeah, there's a lot of great C# jobs, .NET, all that sort of stuff. My current work uses C# for their back end, so. How many video courses have you taken, and which have you finished? I finished my very first video course like a month ago. I've never taken a video course before then. So the first one was Traversity Media's Angular 4 front to back. I did that. And then I'm currently working through Maximilian Academy's course as well in Angular 5. Although if you don't count that's counting like long paid courses. I'm more so I usually just use Free Code Camp and YouTube. That's what I learned with. You still taking Udacity courses? The Udacity Nano degree? No. Once I got my current role in Angular, there's no reason for me to continue on with React, and I had to start focusing on Angular as I hadn't coded in Angular 2+ yet. Will I go back and get your degree? I actually just sent my transcripts into Western Governors University, so it is on the plate, on the agenda. It's finish up my degree in software engineering. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take. Their program allows you to test out of a lot of things, as well as to gain credits for work experience and stuff like that. So and my degree, my previous credits. So that's what I'm working on. Online, yes. Should I learn PHP or Node.js? Well, I would say you should probably learn a language. So the question is, should you learn PHP or JavaScript? And you should definitely learn JavaScript. But if you're looking for a backend, it depends what you want to do, right? So there's a lot of jobs in PHP. I hate PHP, but you can't deny that there's a lot of jobs in it. And so you just got to kind of look at the market in your area and see what you want to do with it. How far am I in Maximilian courses? I'm about to start the routing section. I honestly don't remember. I just watch about an hour a day, and it's 26 hours long. So it's taken me a while. And I think I'm about 8 hours in. I'd have to go back and look to see where exactly. Full stack developer, where to start? You usually want to start in the front end and decide what it is that you want to do, right? So the reason I say the front end is because it's an easier route to get started, in my opinion, because you can actually visually see things. Now, also, at the same time, I think the front end is much harder for developers. And the reason for that is there's more moving parts, right? So you have the HTML, the CSS for where things go, how things look, and then from there, you have to, do the logic with the JavaScript. Know much about work visas for recent UK computer science graduates? I do not. Sorry, John. Job is asking for 5 years plus on front end. Got contacted by a recruiter today. I have a CS degree and a few hackathons and projects. Do I have a chance? Yeah. So this is the thing. If you can get an interview, oftentimes they may hire you even for like a more junior dev for a more senior role if they think they can build you up into it, or you're going to be a good long-term candidate. So there's nothing wrong with taking the time and energy to continue on. But back to my front end thought. I think it's easier for developers just starting out, and because it's harder to just visualize the actual code doing what you want and without having sort of a visual representation. But I think long term as a developer, I think it's going to it's a little bit harder in my opinion. College or boot camp, it depends where you are in your life. I would tell you that as somebody going back to college, I would not recommend college for most people. And that may seem counterintuitive. But if I was much younger, so I'm 30, put this in perspective, but if I was 18, I would probably self-study or join a boot camp, and I would probably go to college later on in the future. Politics aside, if net neutrality ended, in your opinion, how would it affect web developers? I think it would affect startups specifically. The reason for that is I think, one second, I'm thirsty. Pretty much every business that's going to pop up nowadays is going to be very internet heavy. It's just the world we live in technology, right? Everything connects to the internet, and it uses a lot of it. So when you start creating these fast lanes and these slow lanes, what happens is these new up-and-coming startups, maybe they're paying a ridiculous amount of capital. They can't hire as many developers. They can't continue to grow as fast because of this. I mean that's really what I think is going to happen. It's going to affect startups. The big companies are just going to pay. They're not going to be worried about that. Do as I say, not as I do. So let me sort of explain my statement on college. So I'll be a senior developer in about 2 years. For most people, that's all they ever would that's all they would ever hope for. They'd be happy with it. And they'd be stoked. They're making probably as a senior developer with 5 years experience, they're making 6 figures. They're doing very well. But that would probably be 9 times out of 10 where the road would end. Not all the time, but 9 times out of 10. Now, I'm a unique candidate because of my YouTube channel and because I I'm passionate about this stuff and I study and I code. And could I perhaps go past a senior developer level into a tech lead, into an architect role down the road without a degree? Potentially. If I or into a management role without a degree? Potentially. Now, if I go and finish up my degree, will it increase my income past that low six-figure range? Will it make it much easier for me to get a management role? Will it make much easier for me to get a tech lead role? Yes. And that is kind of the reason that I'm going back. Not because I think that I need more money, not because I think that I need it to continue to be a developer, but I do think that it's sort of a safety net so that I can make sure that I can always get a role relatively easily, and a good role relatively easily. Did I make it past the phone interview at Amazon? Yes, I did. I had 2. I made it past it, and then I tanked in the second technical interview. The complexity of the questions, it wasn't too bad. It was like, what is object-oriented programming? I got it. Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember that one because I didn't give a very good answer. Is college worth it for tech jobs? College is always worth it in software. It's one of the few degrees that you can actually pay your student loans off still because you actually make decent money. But when you graduate, your learning doesn't stop. So keep that in mind. A lot of times people think they're going to go to college and they graduate and they just think, okay, I'm done now. No, whether you go to college or not, it's going to be a lifetime of learning as a developer. Now, if you go in another direction, you can go in project manager, you can go in QA, a little bit less so. That's not to diminish either of those fields or directions. I have actually a lot of respect for them because it's not something I think I could do for very long term. But it's not, you don't need to learn as much as you probably do as a developer. I wouldn't have liked working at Amazon. I don't fucking care, man. I would have liked having Amazon on my resume. Oh, trust me, I would have been fine being miserable for a year. Just get 1 year Amazon on the resume. Do you think you'd be happier sitting in meetings all day and drawing diagrams using software? What I would picture as architect roles consist of. Am I off on that? I think Compendium, you have some degree of correctness there. I don't think that's all of it. But yeah, there's definitely a different aspect to it. And it's not that I necessarily want to be an architect. However, I want to make sure in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, wherever I'm at in life, if I do want to be an architect, or I say, you know what, $120,000 or whatever I'm getting paid isn't enough. I want to ball out. Let's go for a $200K role. That involves me going and doing an architect role or doing a tech lead role or something like that, right? I want to put myself in a position in which I have options and can do that. So that's kind of what I'm going to attempt. So John Parkins says, how can I possibly get experience in a company to build my programming experience? You're probably gonna have to code outside of a job. Most places want you to have some experience coding before hiring you. That's just the fact of the matter. You may get lucky with an internship that requires little to none. What's the best advice to live if you don't live in a tech hub where programming isn't as big? I live in LA. I'm guessing he means Louisiana. And sadly, programming is an option down here in other states. Well, I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I applied for jobs all throughout the United States, literally all 50 states, with an emphasis in Alaska because I wanted to go live in Alaska, but that's besides the point. And I ended up taking a role in the Tampa, Florida area. So you may just have to start opening up where you can continue to grow and just be willing to relocate. How can I get that set experience? Well, you're going to have to showcase that you have projects and that you can code and that you have a good portfolio, and then someone will give you a shot. Is business intelligence a good field to get into? Honestly, I don't know too much about it, but it's probably not a bad one. So I I don't work with too many BIs. A lot of times they are building reports. And if you like data and you like reports and analyzing reports, it's a nice field to get into. Why would I go to Alaska? To get away from everything, to get away from having to deal with family, being able to seclude myself, and to enjoy the cold weather. Living in Los Angeles, the things I hated most were traffic, people, and heat. And Alaska, and taxes. Alaska kind of fit all that category where I could go and live in Alaska for a bit. Is getting a master's worth it, or should I just stick with applying for college and getting a bachelor's? I think you should get a bachelor's and start working. And if you have a workplace that will pay for it, it will be worth it for you to get a master's. Otherwise, not. Are there dev jobs in Alaska? Not enough for me. Is LA really as expensive? People say, yeah. So just give you an idea. I live in a pretty nice apartment complex on the higher end, and we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's about 1,400 square feet, and we pay $1,150 for it. And we have a washer and dryer, and we have a gym, and we have in-unit washer and dryer hookups, and we have parking and pools and all that sort of stuff. So we have a lot of amenities. If I wanted something similar in Los Angeles, easily you're looking at $2,500. Not to mention, just in state tax alone, I want to say it's about $5,000 a year just by not living in California in state tax. And that doesn't include other taxes as well. So the state taxes add up, and as your income increases, so does that state tax. So yeah, so Miami's prices are just as high as LA. And Miami is a little bit unique, but that's because they have all that cocaine money down in Miami. that's what's going on down there. Should I just finish my computer science degree or just learn enough programming to leave and get into the workforce? You should finish your computer science degree if you already started, and you'll still need to learn to program once you finish your CS degree. You're not going to be a very good developer by the time you finish your computer science degree, in all honesty, and then leave to join the workforce. You'll need to study outside of work and really dive deep into it. Yeah, so it's not only the rent, right? Because you can find shitty areas in Los Angeles for lower stuff, right? Or rent a room or whatnot. It's also the cost of living. Just everything's more expensive. It's quite literally everything. You get nickels and dimes for everything. If you get a ticket, say you get a speeding ticket, you're looking at like $400. You get a littering ticket, it's like $800. Any sort of thing where they can screw you, they do. You got to pay 10 cents for a plastic bag. You need to pay 10 cents for a can of soda, like a CRV tax, or 5 cents, 5 to 10. Everything is just money out of your pocket. It's absolutely awful, man. Your thoughts on competitive programming? Is it bad, rather, or not beneficial to start after college? I think it's fine. I think it's fine to do it while you're in college. I think it's fine to do it after you're in college. And it's okay for you to to enjoy that, and it looks good on your resume. Programming competitions are great. You can even just put your project on there. I haven't won a hackathon, but I put my hackathon projects on there because I think they're fun. I think it's cool to showcase that. Show, hey, look what I built in 24 hours with a team I never met before. And competitive programming is the same thing. Look at this project I built. Or if you placed in an algorithm thing, whatever it is, I think it'll be a fun and excellent opportunity. What does a system architect do? They build out sort of the architecture, the overlying structure of a web application. I want to get better at logic and programming. Any advice? Start drawing it out. Writing pseudocode. Before you actually write any code, write pseudocode. And then draw that pseudocode out on a whiteboard. What do you think about functional programming with JavaScript? Isn't that what you're doing all the time in JavaScript? I guess you're not in TypeScript, but in like React or just sort of vanilla JS, you're doing a lot of functional programming. I think it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think I've never thought object-oriented programming was all that great. What are your thoughts on getting into the digital nomad? I'm trying to learn both programming and digital marketing to make something happen. I think both of those are good skills to make that happen. We work with a lot of developers. We have a lot of contract developers outside of our in-house developers. And one of the ones on my team travels to, since the 3 months I've been working, he's been in a new country every month. So I am decent in JavaScript. I want to implement the skills in C++. How long and what path should I take? Honestly, Joe, welcome to the channel, by the way. I know you said what's up. What's up, Joe? I couldn't tell you. I'm not a C++ expert. I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. How hard would it be to get a remote junior web developer job with only a high school diploma at the moment? I think more than anything else, the real issue you'll have, Tyler, is not that you have a high school diploma. It will be proving that you're actually a developer in terms of you have experience. And it sounds like, by the way that you phrased that question, you don't have any experience. Oh, my goodness. The Top Hat God himself dropping the Top Hat God's always coming in here with the 13.37 pounds. Doesn't even need to leave a message. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you so much. Do we have any mods in the channel who are going to ban this spam bot in the channel? Who wants to be modded? I think I know who it needs to be. My good sir James, would you go ahead and ban OVO Cash TV? You officially, James Shackelford, you officially have been modded. Top Hat God, thank you again so much for the support, man. That makes me feel so much better after having the video today get demonetized. I was really upset about that. And the reason for it, is I've been a little unmotivated with YouTube. Just I haven't been like normally I have like 2 weeks of video queued up for you guys. So I've been a little demotivated by YouTube, and so why is your mustache half grown? This is the best I could do. This is all I got, man. So I finally thought of a video that I wanted to film, and a lot of it is I don't like doing duplicate topics, and I want to touch on things that I feel passionate about in the moment. And so this was something that I was excited about. I was like, all right, cool. This is a good video. I like this video. Top skills to be a front-end developer. And then I woke up this morning and it was demonetized. And that sort of good feeling where you're like, hell yeah, man, I'm putting out good content. Yeah, I'm excited. And then this is as good as I can do, Crusader Rabbits. Yeah, congrats to James. James, the OG in here. And thank you again to Top Hat God. So do I do all the challenges Maximilian gives in the course, or do I mainly watch the videos? I mainly watch the videos. Basically every morning I show up, I watch about an hour to half an hour of videos. I don't really need to do the challenges. If I thought they were going to be beneficial, I would. But this is really just to let me become more familiar with what's going on in the Angular framework. Can I send you an autograph? You gotta pay, baby. Do you think freelancing is a good way to build your portfolio? I think it's one way, that's for sure. It's better to get paid to do work than not to do it. A lot of times you gotta build your portfolio just learning. But yeah, I think it's definitely something. Skill is blacklisted for equality. People who aren't skilled in anything take offense. That's why it's not advertiser friendly. What are your thoughts on the junior dev destroying the production database on the first day? I think, Josh, that it's not really his fault. And I think if you give a junior developer access and the ability to delete the production database, what you have done is you need to go find the person who handles your database credentials and fire that person, because there's no way that that should happen. So that's really what that's really the truth of the matter. You believe React.js is the best way to learn JavaScript? I mean, I think JavaScript's the best way to learn JavaScript. YouTube is causing many YouTubers to try and make videos on Facebook. If I got ad revenue on Facebook, I would do it. How are the cats? They're good. The cats are always good. We take good care of them. Bought them a couple new beds and stuff. Gave them new catnip sock. Go buy them toy mice. They have mice on a stick, like on a string that we drag around. Yeah, they'll get we actually buy them real mice for Christmas and let them run around the house and chasing them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. When should I start and learn React or Angular? At what stage should I be in JavaScript? When you can go through the intermediate algorithms and you feel like you're decent at it, and you finish the front end developer certification, because it sounds like you're doing free code camp, I think you should look into it. Do you think pet insurance is worth it? I think all insurance is worth it. I don't have pet insurance, but I've thought numerous times about getting it. Unfortunately, I haven't followed through with it. I should, though. I've looked at it, and it's really just for, hey, I want to just prevent if anything happens to cats and we need $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I'd rather just pay the $20 a month per pet. Is the ad revenue on Twitch better on Twitch or YouTube? So in terms of Twitch, there is no ad revenue unless you're partnered with Twitch. So like you're going to be doing free shit forever on Twitch until you're partnered. You're going to make the bulk of your money from subscriptions, or bulk of your money from donations until you get subscriptions and ad revenue. Thank you, Michael Greenberg. I appreciate the support, man. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin? I think it's a great way to store money, and I think you can make a lot of money with it. I have doubled my money on Bitcoin, which is nice. Am I going to write a JavaScript course? I'm currently working on something similar to that. Yeah. Let's see what you're working with, girl. Yeah, I'll probably start switching the live streams on Twitch. I just haven't got around to resetting up the environment to it. All right, so let's review this. Let's review Wanda Carrot's portfolio page together, guys. So I haven't looked at it yet, but so far so good, right? First thing that I always notice, I'm kind of a stickler for this. You don't have an icon. Take pride in yourself. And maybe put portfolio in the title or something. Just a suggestion. All right, let's go to refresh this page so you guys can see it. So, all right, so we have my work. I like it. I don't know what's going on with this ball, but I can't tell if I like it or don't. So it's good. It's interesting. Interesting's good. All right. Glucose Guardian technologies used. I like that. I might throw this something in bold just to make this pop a little bit, but it looks clean. And then we'll go review that in a second. I'm liking what I'm seeing though. I really do. Again, I just think this might need to be. There's a lot of empty real estate here, so maybe make this a little bit bolder, little bit larger. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. Overall, it is an excellent project. Nice, yeah. Let's see here. Let's check out the actual projects. So here's a problem. That doesn't lead to anything. This should lead to an actual website. So that for sure should go to an actual website. Yeah, so you need to have an online link to your actual projects. Right now it's just an empty hashtag. That's clean. I like this. It's good though. You're much better at CSS than I am. I can tell you that much. I think that probably the ball's working pretty well. My computer's just been dying lately, so things are slow. I'm not dejected. I would just say that I'm frustrated a bit about the way that, because like I don't have a like it's just with YouTube. I'm frustrated with YouTube, right? So like I probably won't have a video on Wednesday or Friday. I'll probably go to go and just take a little bit of a break on YouTube in terms of like putting out 3 videos a week and a live stream. Probably just 1 video a week and a live stream, and leave it at that. Let's see here. Tesla or Bitcoin? I honestly think Tesla's going to crash, man. Tesla, if you actually look at stats on how many cars Tesla sells, versus what they're worth, it's crazy how overvalued they are. I think Tesla, they're trading around like 330, 350. I think they're going to crash to $100. That's what I think is going to happen. At some point in time when they don't deliver the amount of cars that they said they were going to deliver, but maybe I'm wrong. People are so caught up in the hype. I think there's a bigger crash happening in Tesla than there will be in Bitcoin long term. Would I ever consider moving to Silicon Valley and joining a startup? I would, man. If the price was right. Silicon Valley's expensive. I turned a roll down for about 120 grand because I didn't think it'd be enough money at Silicon Valley. But let's say in a year or 2 or 3 years, I have a couple more years of experience under the belt, and they were going to offer me 150 to 200,000. I would take it. Have I thought about creating my own web and selling it as a software as a service? Yeah, I just don't have one that I am passionate about to create. The thing I'm probably most passionate about is just YouTube and coding. So they offered you less than 100K, no benefits, but got a decent amount of equity in the company. So I've done a video compendium about this topic a little bit about working at startups. And the way equity works most of the time, I don't know, perhaps your situation is different, is that typically you get, it's like over a 4 or 5 year period, and maybe we'll say 5 years, for example. In year 1, after you complete, you get 0.05% of your equity. In year 2, you get 0.10 of. Year 3 is like 0.20. Year 4 is like 0.25, and then year 5 you get the bulk of it. So the reason I bring that up is you have to really believe in the product and the company and the CEO and everything else in between for that equity to be worth any money. So let's say you got paid $90,000, right? Based on this scenario. You could get a job in Silicon Valley for 110, 120. Let's just say 100. So instantly after 1 year, you're saying, look, I want a 10K raise. It's expensive as shit to live in Silicon Valley. So let me go get a 10K raise. And you could get one really easy. Honestly, you really could. And all right, cool. So that 0.05, you're saying to yourself, is that worth 10 grand? Maybe not, but maybe maybe it's close. So you say, okay, I deal with it. But the next year, you think they're going to give you a fat ass raise on your one? They know they have you locked in for equity. You have to stay for the equity. And so you say, okay, well, I want to stay for the equity. But now I have to, I just lost $10,000 this year. That's basically what you're saying. I lost 10,000. Year 2. Okay, now let's say they give you up to 93, right? They give you like a little 3% raise if you're lucky. So okay, well, I lost $7,000 maybe. And they say, okay, well, year 2 years later, I'm at 96. But now I've lost another 10,000 because I decided to stay. I have to stay. I can't leave for a raise. So you could be at 110,000 right now. Do you get where I'm going with this? And that equity and that time and energy, is that equity going to even be worth anything? Who really knows? But I could tell you that I wouldn't do it unless I really thought that this was going to make some fucking money. That's what I would say. Do you have reflection glasses on to keep some glare to your eyes from the computer? No. I'm not saying that you can't live off of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't live off of it. I'm just saying that financially, you have to weigh that option. Is it actually going to be worth it? Because my argument is that in the 4 to 5 years that you would have spent there, you actually probably would have cost yourself $100,000 on the low end. Is your equity even going to be worth that? That's what I'm saying. And a better job with benefits, right? And if you think I'm kidding about the cost of SF, man, go look up what an apartment costs in actual downtown San Francisco for a studio. It's like $4 grand. Yeah. So. Just for good old regular can't see good nerd glasses. I got these for free actually. So a company emailed me. Shit. What is my 15 to 20%? I thought we were talking about 1 to 2 right now at most. Woo, 15 to 20%. At 15 to 20% equity in a company, I would need to know what company, but that makes it a whole fucking different discussion. You're talking about getting paid out a large sum of money. I definitely would consider it at 15 to 20%. If you and some friends started a company, well, that's a different thing. That's a lot more fun. You're hyping it up right now, baby. If I had me and the homies, if me and the two homies were like, hey, bro, we got an investor, 2 mil. We're going to Silicon Valley. We're just going to get the shittiest little house. We're going to put up fucking 18 monitors in there, and we're going to code, and we're going to get sponsored by fucking Red Bull, and we're going to just take enough caffeine until we have a working product. I'd be there. I really would. I'd be like, sorry, baby, I gotta go. I gotta leave for a couple of years. I'm going to the coding motherland. I gotta see if I can make some money. 15-20% is a lot, though. But that is a large amount of equity, which would make me reconsider. But again, it has to go back to that idea. But it is it would be a much funner time. But yeah, so I forgot the name of the glasses company that sent me these. Hey, you know what you can get for $4K a month in St. Petersburg? You can get 3 house payments. All right, like honestly, you could buy 3 duplexes and rent out all 3, spending $4K a month on mortgage. I'm not bullshitting you. So, yeah, if you're spending $4K a month in the Tampa area, you have a palace. No more portfolio reviews right now. We already did one. No more. I'm a little tired. I'm tired of seeing all the subscribers that are better than me. I get yelled at in my videos already. I know you guys are better than me. What do you want, man? I'm trying. I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying. Hey, 3-1. I'm straight. I'm with you, man. I do think San Francisco's overpopulated, over rent. Like, if you want to use that word, I don't think that's a word. Over rented, over high rent, and terrible traffic. But yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to go and do that, but those are the things. That's why it'd have to be. That's why it'd have to be. The price would have to be right. I currently drive about 20 to 25 minutes to work, and before I took my new job, it was a 7 to 8 minute drive. I'll never do anything over 30 minutes again. And honestly, if there's one piece of advice I could give you guys, live within a 30-minute drive to your work, if not closer. It'll give you so much more time for yourself. You'll be so much happier because of it. My subs finally equal my salary. Hey. Your boy does better than that, man. Your boy's salary is doing better than that. That is about, if you take that and not counting investments or YouTube or potential bonuses and multiply it by 2.5, you have my salary. Which isn't too bad in my opinion for the Tampa area. And just with 1 year software experience under the belt, I think I'm doing all right for myself. What's your opinion of Python for web development? My opinion for anything is JavaScript for web development. Some bird shit on my car. What should I do? You should go shit on his nest. Go establish your dominance. Look for the first bird nest you can see and look him dead in the beak and just. Node versus PHP. I'm going Node.js. I don't blame you, man. I do too. Oh, man. Somebody asked me earlier, who is someone in tech that I admire, look up to? One of the people that I'm very impressed by, and that is super passionate, is Quincy Larson for Free Code Camp. Every time I watch him, I can just see the passion in him and what he's trying to accomplish. I find amazing. So that's somebody. What's the best strategy to grind up to a $250K salary as a developer? Frequent job humping, depending on the situation. Yeah, climb your ladder of developers. No, So job hopping would probably be the best case scenario for you. And then finding a company when you're at that peak where you're now as a senior developer, you can jump into a leadership role. Should web developers look into WebAssembly? Honestly, I haven't seen too many jobs in it when I was looking recently. But I haven't read up too much about it, to be honest with you, James. With that brand new fancy ass wrench next to his name. That's what we should do. I tell you what, new policy, guys. Every live stream, I'm going to mod somebody when we do a every 1,000 subscribers live stream. So at 31,000, we'll make another mod. Yeah, the problem with it, and I hate to say this as an employee, because it might make me look bad as an employee, and this is not my intention, but you can't really argue with the fact that on average you can leave for a 10% to 20% raise as a developer. Now, if you stay at a company as a developer, you might get a 3 to 6 to 7% raise. So you can't really argue that leaving for more money is a better choice. Also, you get to decide what you leave for. Why would you leave for less? Way too many mods when you get to 100K? I don't think so. That's 70 mods. At 100,000 subscribers, we should have a decent amount of mods. You're talking about 1/10 of 1% are modded. $100,000 people is a lot. So at this rate, we have one. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Be mod city up in this bitch if I wanted to be. I'll mod all you fucks right now. Everyone get modded. Everybody. I do what I want. They're going to demonetize my shit anyhow. I'll just go mod crazy. All right. Is it really 9.3%? Mills to the truth. What's going on, man? So one of the states I was looking was Florida, of course, which is why I'm here, because of no sales tax or no state tax. Also states with no sales tax, as well as Washington and Portland, Oregon specifically. I currently own a house in Oklahoma. Would it be optimal to sell that and move to Silicon Valley, do job hopping, and grind up a big salary? It would be optimal to just hold on to it and rent it out, in my opinion. Did I code in Angular today? I code every day in Angular. Yeah, not on the live stream though, if that's what you're asking. Oh man. Yeah, job humping. I knew the switch coding was working. Hey, if you're job humping, you're gonna be job humping a bunch of dudes like me, a bunch of guys in glasses. So Street Fighter motorcycles, is that what you're about? Hey, no judgments, man. It's 2017. All right. Do you think it'd ever be good working from home, or would it be too lonely? Oh, I'd be fine. I don't want to right now because you gain a large stats will show you that your career is better when you go in person and you make more money. And my main thing is getting my income up and learning as much as possible. Those two things, not necessarily in that order. So you'll learn from a lot of developers and all that sort of great stuff. I would definitely rely on a property management company. It's something that I'll be doing soon, actually. I'm looking to buy my first property, which will be a duplex. And I'll be having a property management company taking over the other unit for me, most likely. And I don't plan on living on Florida for more than 5 years. I have about 4 years left on that. But you never know. I could stay. But my folks are getting older as the years go by, so I probably will move a little bit closer. But yeah, I will be buying property that I plan to hold and rent. jQuery is dying fast. How long till Angular or React goes down? Just because jQuery is going down. And jQuery is not even really going down. It's just used by a lot of property. You giving any away courses for the holiday season? Maybe. We'll see what's up. See what I might give away some of my own. Yeah, I know. It's just like I'm saving money right now. We'll see. So 3-1. I kind of most of the places I'm looking at are dirt cheap. We're talking about $100,000 to $150,000. So I don't know how much those could actually drop in price. But I do understand that everything's inflated right now. But we'll see. I'm saving money right now, but I'm in no rush also because April is unemployed, so she has to get a job first. That's really the thing that's holding us back. I'm also going back to school. I'm with you on the debt bubble. I think the stock market's going to crash by like 35%. I think it's going to fucking just blow up. With that being said, I have money in stocks as well because I like to diversify. But yeah, I do think we're coming in for a bubble. Do I remember what decided to get me into programming, or is it just blur now? Oh yeah, no, I remember. I wanted when I was having trouble making up my mind in school, in college, right? So for those of you who don't know, I have about 200 units completed and no degree. So I also have a certification that's expired now as a emergency EMT. So that was another thing. So and a casino dealer's license. So both those are expired now. But just to put that in perspective of how many courses I've taken over about a 6 to 7 year period, I have no degree, and I was just taking a ton of courses trying to figure it out. And at some point around year 4, my father was like, "You got to figure something out, man. You can't just be bouncing around. You got to go and get a degree." I said, "Okay, let me actually go and figure out what a good career is." And not like what makes a good career, but what defines a good career in terms of what I would want at a degree. And it came to 3 main things when I looked at what defines a good job. It's the same 3 things that I've told you guys about when looking at what fields to go into. The first one is salary. Second one is job growth. And the third one is the amount of jobs. And when I looked at that, and I looked at every job stat, top 10 best lists of jobs, top 25 best lists of jobs from LinkedIn, from Indeed, all of them were software technology related. And going off the stats for how much growth, the salaries, all that, it all led to a computer science degree. And that's what got me into programming. I didn't really fall in love with it until I dropped out of college. But that's a separate story. But that's what led me into that led me into that. Honestly, there's not many fields that even can fall into the same category of being a very highly like today. If I lost my job, it would suck, but I could find another job, and I could probably make just as much money. And there's a reason you can job hop and leave to get raises. Is because people want to hire you, and people want to pay you, and people want to, because there's not enough good developers. And so you can't job hop for a 10K raise or plus in any career. That's a very unique software field and career for that. So yeah, but a lot of people, they just, I mean, you can look at, not to, I don't want, April, if you're watching, sometimes she watches these live streams, so I gotta be careful. The thing is that April's a good example of somebody who got a degree in English and has been struggling to make money, like a good career, because you can't really do too much with a liberal arts sort of degree like that. In today's end, is like what defines a good job is salary, job growth, and amount of jobs. And on average, liberal arts degrees pay less, have worse jobs, have a ton of competition, and you can't really do too many things with it. One of the other things that defines a good job is how technical it is. And what I mean by that, it's not like, oh, do you have software skills? What I mean is, do you have skills that somebody couldn't pick up in a week? Like, I could go and be a cashier today. I've never been a cashier. I could go and work a liquor store today, and I could probably be 90% as good as the guy who's been working there for a year. A lot of positions are like that don't require hard skills. Does your role provide hard skills? Another good example of that falls into that category is health. Nurses, doctors. That's why they make good money. So I think you should enroll into Hack Reactor. Certificate completion from there is more sought after than most degrees. Nah, I gotta go back and finish up the bachelor's. Also, if Hack Reactor wanted to pay me to attend, I would. But other than that, I don't think I would do a coding boot camp unless I was self-employed through YouTube. Oh, man. How long have we been going? I think it might be time to start wrapping this up. Yeah, it's about an hour. So for those of you who are new to the live streams, so when we do these live streams every 1,000, I like to end with a final thought of some sort. Before we do that, I just want to say thank you to the 29,000 you who were here before, and thank you to the 1,000 new people who are here. If you want to support me, you can by going to patreon.com/codingtutorials360, and you can like the videos, watch the videos, share the videos. There's probably nothing more than you can do other than give me that cold, hard-earned money, which I know a lot of you don't do because a lot of fucks watch ad block. Don't think I don't know. But you could share the video with your friends, and that helps me out a ton. Just watch, man. Watch, like the videos, share the videos. That it helps me out a ton. So today's final thought. I think we're gonna be talking a little bit about. Thank you for the YouTube Red money. That's another way that you can do it. YouTube Red's interesting because the way that I looked up, how do you get actual money from YouTube Red? Basically, they break up your watch time. Let's say you watch 3 channels and you spent 90% of your time watching the one channel. That person gets 90% of whatever the split is off YouTube Red, which is kind of interesting to me. But yeah. So earlier, somebody asked me what made me decide to get into programming. What made me decide to get into programming is different than what made me stay in programming. And what made me, as I explained, what got me into programming. And the reason I want to talk about this, a lot of times, as today's final thought, in honor of the greatest talk show host of all time, Jerry Springer, is that a lot of times people, the same thing that gets you into something isn't the same thing that keeps you into something, right? It's kind of like dating. Oftentimes when you're just getting started, you just are looking for that physical fun. And the ones that you keep around are those ride or die men or women, or those people who love you dear and are there for you when you need them, right? That's the thing that separates a girlfriend from a future wife, or a boy toy from I don't know what women call the dudes that they mess around with. Some dude. They don't get brought around the friends. A keeper, yeah. That's what separates the keepers from the ones that are just the old notch on the belt, I guess. And programming is kind of the same thing. And a lot of things in life are like this, where what gets you into it, in my case, the very practical aspects, right? The a thought. The very practical aspects of hey, I want to make good money. I want to make sure there's a lot of jobs so I can get a job in the field, because there's plenty of jobs that pay well, but it's hard to get a job. And I want to make sure that it's a field that's growing so I don't have to change careers down the road. Those are all good, practical reasons. They're not reasons that are going to keep you in a field. When I was in school and studying this stuff, I was doing a computer science program for those reasons. And it wasn't fun, it wasn't enjoyable, but I understood logically that this was a correct path. It wasn't until I stopped going and I started coding and learning things in a fun way that I enjoyed, that I really fell in love with software. And I think that's what has motivated me to the point where on Thanksgiving, April had to say, look, sit down and play video games. I'll watch, because you're not working on Thanksgiving. And part of it is I've fallen in love with software development, and I enjoy doing this. And when you work for a company, we're going to spend a lot of our lives working. No matter how smart you are with your money, it's going to be a hard grind to not have to have a job. I mean, that's the goal, but it's going to be hard. And in this field, to be a developer, you really have to love what you're doing. So for what's kept me in coding is that I love being mentally challenged. I love building things. There's something exciting about that. I love actually knowing that I can do something that nobody else can. Not nobody else, but a good portion of people can't. I like talking about this. I found a way to make it exciting, to make it fun, to keep it fun, to keep it alive. And you know, those things that got us into it aren't the things that are going to keep us sharp, keep us good, keep us strong, keep us motivated. So I hope that as you get started, you understand why you're getting into something, but also find the reasons to make sure that you stay in it and that you're there and you're going to thrive in it. So that's today's final thought is just understand that the things that get you into something may not be the things that keep you into something and loving it. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you all. I understand I'm mentally challenged. Thank you so much. We're at 30,000 strong. Thank you again to the top hat God himself who graced us with his presence, donated that 13.37 pounds, which I think is 18.67 euros, if I remember correctly. That's a very unique number, 13.37 pounds. I don't know what that's about. That seems like normally I would round, but like top hat God's got swagger. I think that's what it is. So I appreciate y'all. I'm going to I don't even know why I'm ending the live stream. I'm probably just gonna go code. I've been working through the documentation for a while, recording videos. Let me tell you, man, I have never like gone through the documentation, all of it, line by line, piece by piece. It is a long and absolutely draining process, but I'm learning a ton in the process. I'm probably going to take a 5-10 minute break, guys, and then I might live stream for a bit. We'll see. But I appreciate you all. Thank you again. We hit 30,000. That's impressive. I'm trying to get to that 100K. I want the plaque, man. I want the little silver play button. I want it. I want it so bad. I just want that. I want that. I feel like until you have that, it's all for nothing. Yeah. So I gotta get that. So even though YouTube is screwing me on the demonetization, you know YouTube, I'm talking about you. Even that's all happening, I will at least stick around until I hit 100K. I'll get my silver plaque. I'll give them the finger. I'll tell them suck these nuts, and I'm out this bitch. See you guys later.